You found Sunday Night Live, and we're glad to have your company because we've a packed programme for this third Sunday of Advent. The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge take the train to say thank you to the children in this church school. Tears of relief as a lost teenager in Kenya is reunited with her parents. Advent windows illuminating the story of Christ's birth. And don't forget how much we love hearing from you with your thoughts about Sunday Night Live. Just press the subscribe button at the end to send us a message. Hello again from me, Pam Rhodes, and as we open the windows of our Advent calendars, we know that Christmas is approaching fast, and perhaps now more than ever, we really are in the mood for a season of goodwill. We want everyone to be well, safe, and truly blessed this Christmas. And that is a message that comes across loud and clear from the congregation of Cedar Church in King's Standing in North Birmingham. But they don't want to just wish us a wonderful Christmas. They want us to pass the message on. I bet they had a lot of fun recording that, don't you? Well, you know, it's been all aboard for the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge this week because they've been on a special train tour across the British Isles, covering more than 1,200 miles and visiting not just England, but Scotland and Wales too. They wanted to say a personal thank you to key workers who have done so much to support their communities over the past year, care workers, health volunteers and many others too. And on the way, they called into Berwick upon Tweed to visit a Church of England school where both the pupils and the staff were delighted to welcome them.
So we were really lucky this week to have a visit from the Duke and the Duchess of Cambridge. The children were really excited to see them, especially when they saw the reindeer. There was a lot of crowds gathered outside as well, and it gave a real sense of what a lovely community that we have. Before the Duchess and Duke came, we all prepared some artwork so that they could have a look at it, and there was some children singing, and I think there was a lot of excitement, and it was just really nice to know that the Duke and Duchess cared about how we'd coped during COVID and asked how we were as well, asked about our mental health, so we all had a lovely day.
The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, who as parents themselves would share the feelings of all of us when we hear stories from countries around the world where young girls in particular are parted from their parents, lost and alone and in danger of being trafficked or abused.
Hello, my name is Kelly Strong and I'm the CEO of the Kenyan Children's Project, where we rescue street-connected and vulnerable children in Western Kenya. That's where me and my family will usually be living, where our urgent rescue centre is based. Our hearts are so with our Kenyan team at this time. This year, due to COVID-19, we were repatriated back to the UK. The impact of COVID-19 for us all has been huge. But there is good news. Our team have rescued, rehabilitated and reunified more than triple the amount of children this year. And by Christmas, nearly 100 children will have been rescued. Each child is unique and holds a story that is unlike any other. We've seen many times children as young as 4 years old seeking work to provide something for their families. And these children end up at terrible risk of exploitation, trafficking, abuse, violence and hunger. Many children in orphanages across the world are not actually orphans at all, and we believe the best place for a child to be, if possible, is with their original family. At-risk, vulnerable children are referred to our Urgent Rescue Centre. Once admitted to our centre, our incredible multidisciplinary team of professionals take each child through a trauma-informed rehabilitation programme. And our team of professionals work with the child to trace the family so that soon family reunification will be possible. Every child has the right to family, but we never place a child back into an unsafe home. We won't compromise. In these situations, we seek other alternative options with the child's involvement, like kinship care, foster care and adoption. No child should be away from home, but it feels particularly poignant at Christmas, especially this year as many of us feel isolated from friends, family and loved ones. I keep hearing that song, Driving Home for Christmas, on the radio, and it reminds me of Annie's story, a young girl who was brought to us after getting completely lost on her way to relatives.
I got lost as we travelled to Uganda to see my aunt. The bus had left. My family were gone. I spent a night all alone on the street. I was away from my family for 4 months.
Imagine being 14 years old, lost in a city that you don't know, spending nights alone and being held in a children's remand centre without being able to contact your family.
Every time the police tried to phone my parents, the calls did not go through. I used to cry a lot. I was in distress. I asked myself again and again, what will I do? My parents did not know if I was alive or dead.
Thankfully, our team in Kenya finally found Annie, and they did the impossible, locating Annie's family in Uganda to bring her home. Filmed by our social worker, this is the incredible moment Annie was reunited with her family after 4 months alone. The Kenyan Children's Project works with children like Annie every single day, rescuing children who are living on the streets or those who have been so badly broken and abused. They are being transformed and reunited with long-term loving families where they can thrive. If you want to get involved right now, follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Check out our website.
Thank you for bringing my daughter home. Thank you very much.
Thanks to our amazing team and our supporters, Annie is now home in time for Christmas. The faces of her mum and dad will live with me forever.
I wish you a peaceful, restful and hopeful Christmas.
Merry, Merry Christmas! God bless you!
Like a candle flame, flickering small in our darkness, uncreated light shines through infant eyes. God is with us, alleluia. God is with us, alleluia. Come to save us, alleluia. Come to save us, alleluia. Stars and angels sing, yet the earth sleeps in shadows. Can this tiny spark set a world on fire? God is with us, alleluia. God is with us, alleluia. Come to save us, alleluia. Come to save us, alleluia. Yet His light shall shine from our lives, Spirit blazing, as we touch the flame of His holy fire. God is with us, alleluia. God is with us, alleluia. Come to save us, alleluia. Come to save us, alleluia.
Light in the darkness, Christ born on earth. And in Advent, this 4-week period leading up to Christmas, we all decorate our houses with lights that sparkle out to greet our neighbours. Well, in Bunbury, the village in Cheshire, many of the locals there have been really inventive in creating beautiful Advent window displays. Vicar Tim Hayward is waiting to greet us and show us round, and he's most definitely got the Christmas spirit.
Hello and a happy Advent to you all. 2020 is a year we won't forget. It's been a difficult year for many, and yet this season of Advent and Christmas is a great opportunity for us to share our faith with a wider world desperate for some good news. A powerful theme running throughout this season is light shining in the darkness. And in our own small way, we wanted to spread the good news of God's love and a bit of hope and light through our Bunbury Advent Window project. Each day of December, a new Advent window is being revealed around the village, and we're very grateful to all the families who have taken part. Here's Maggie talking about how it's engaged their children and their friends, and then a time-lapse video of Emma making her own Advent window.
So we were approached by Beth at the church and asked if we'd like to participate, and we jumped at the chance. We thought it would be a lovely thing to get involved in, something to get the children involved in, and obviously then we could discuss about the Nativity and Advent. It's been really nice at this current time because it's something for people to look forward to.
We've been encouraging people on their daily walks to follow our Advent trail throughout the village, looking for signs of hope and light shining in the darkness. And for those who are unable to get out, we've been posting pictures on our Bunbury Church Facebook page and created an online calendar for people to share. So from all of us here in Bunbury, we wish you a happy Advent and a Merry Christmas.
It was on a starry night when the hills were bright, earthly sleeping, calm and still. Then in a castle shed, in a manger bed, a boy was born, King of all the world. And all the angels sang for him, the bells of heaven rang for him, for a boy was born, King of all the world. And all the angels sang for him, the bells of heaven rang for him, for a boy was born, King of all the world. Soon the shepherds came that way, where the baby lay, and were kneeling by his side, and their hearts believed again for the peace of men, for a boy was born, King of all the world. And all the angels sang for him, the bells of heaven rang for him, for a boy was born, King of all the world. And all the angels sang for him, the bells of heaven rang for him, for a boy was born, King of all the world.
Well, this year we may not be able to gather in our churches as we love to do for Christmas services, but through virtual media, the ministry of the church has been able to reach us in our own homes. A lot of charities and churches are planning their own special Christmas celebrations online, and one of the very best of them comes from All Souls Church in London, home of the All Souls Orchestra and Choir. And here to tell us about their very special Christmas event plans is the Senior Music Minister, Michael Andrews.
Hello Sunday Night Live viewers. Pam, thank you so much for having me on your show, and a very happy Advent and happy Christmas to all of you. I'm here to share about a free online concert that we are hosting here at All Souls Langham Place on Saturday the 19th of December at 7:30 p.m. You can watch it on YouTube. It's going to feature the All Souls Orchestra and All Souls Choir singing and playing lots of your favourite Christmas carols, orchestral and choral treats, and we also have some fantastic special guests lined up. Sean Fletcher, Stella Stocker, Noel Tredinnick, Premier favourite, Keith and Christine Getty, and Jonathan Vera and Sir David Suchet, as well as a short Christmas thought from Rico Tice and a live Q&A. You can actually send in questions on the evening for Rico to answer about the Christian faith. So a brilliant event to be inviting family and friends to this Christmas. Well, to find out more information, do visit our website, allsoulsmusic.org. But right now, we want to share with you one of our favourite carols, and I'm sure it's yours as well. Hark the Herald Angels Sing, performed live here at All Souls Langham Place in central London last Christmas at Christmas Praise. Let's sing together.
On this third Sunday of Advent, there's plenty still to come on Sunday Night Live. How the armed services charity SAFA is giving help where it's needed most. As we head for the local gym to keep our bodies healthy, Warren Evans, head of sports chaplaincy, encourages health in body, mind and soul. One of the most endearing sights and sounds of Christmas is a Salvation Army band playing carols in our town squares. But in Coventry, Seb Farrell, the leader of the songsters there, has decided that he wants to celebrate Christmas in song again and again and again.
Deck the hall with bells of holly, fa la 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 la, fa la la la. 'Tis the season to be jolly, fa la 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 la, fa la la la. Don we now our gay apparel, fa la 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 la. La la la. Oh, troll the ancient Yuletide carol, fa la 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 la, fa la la. Decca 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 before us, fa la 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 la, fa la la la. Strike the harp and join the chorus, fa la 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 la, fa la la la. Follow me in decca 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 merry measure, decca 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 decca, fa la la fa la fa la la. I tell of Yuletide treasure. Fa la la la, fa la la la, fa la fa la fa la 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 la. Decca 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 decca, fast away the old year passes. Fa la 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 la, fa la la la. Hail the new ye lads and lasses. Fa la 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 la, fa la la la. Sing we joyous all together. Fa la 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 la. Heedless of the wind and weather. Fa la 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 la, fa la.
Did you know that about 30 million people across the UK take part in some sort of sport or gym activity? Now, most of them, of course, would never aspire to being great athletes, but that is not why they do it, as Warren Evans is about to explain to us. Now, Warren is the CEO of Sports Chaplaincy, which has about 600 chaplains at work across the country, and Warren's here to tell us why they are needed.
Thanks, Pam. It's great to be with you on Sunday Night Live. My name is Warren Evans and I'm Chief Exec of Sports Chaplaincy UK. And I have the wonderful privilege of serving leaders up and down our nation, serving the wider community called sport. And I say community on purpose because when you think about sport, you probably think about an activity. But when I think about sport, it's more than an activity. It's people. It's a community of people. And we have about 600 chaplains serving from gyms to football clubs to rugby clubs, right across from the elite, right down to your grassroots levels of sport. And why, you may add, because that's where God will be, because it's about going to a community. So I want to challenge you. We have a real heart for the gym community. And so I want to challenge you as a church and leadership team. Maybe you as a church can adopt a gym. And you say, why adopt a gym? I don't just want you to pray for a gym. I want you to seriously pray and consider how we can partner with you to serve that gym. You know, people join gyms generally out of crisis. They don't all have a six-pack like me hiding under this waistcoat and some extra other layers. But they join out of crisis because of diabetes, because of their overweight, because of their mental health, because of loads of reasons. So don't just assume people join gyms for just the typical reason of a beach body. But they join for loads of reasons and they leave for reasons as well, generally points of crisis. So we want to partner with you to see how you can serve that community. Why? Because the sporting communities consist of 30 million people, guys. And I believe God cares for 30 million people. And it's the largest untapped mission field. So I want you to partner with us and serve that community. Not just to pray, but be intentional. And if you want to find out more about that, go to our website or just look up Sports Chaplaincy UK and just engage with us, and we'd love to serve and set you up for success serving your community. You know, We're approaching Christmas, and in the past, Sports Chaplaincy UK have partnered with Hope Together and other organisations to put on presentations in stadiums in front of hundreds or thousands of people. But this year, we can't. It doesn't mean Christmas is cancelled, but it does mean we've got to do it slightly different. So this year, I have the privilege again of partnering as Sports Chaplaincy UK with Hope Together to put on virtual Christmas carols. And now, virtual Christmas carols will consist of some great testimonies, readings, messages from church leaders, athletes, right across our nation. We've got a wonderful message from Dave Smith from Kingsgate Church in Peterborough, a message around well-being. That's a message that as church leaders you may even want to play in your church separately. But I want to encourage you to join us on that night, Tuesday the 15th at 7:30 and Sunday the 20th, I nearly forgot, Sunday the 20th at 6 p.m. You know, you can invite your friends, your neighbours to watch these services. Hey, use these resources to bless your community. And I look forward to seeing you then. Check it out on www.virtualchristmascarols.co.uk. And I hope you enjoy the evening.
Well, many charities are keeping in touch with those they serve, as well as those who help with their work through virtual Christmas events. And one of the most atmospheric is a beautiful carol service that has been recorded in the Wren Chapel at the Royal Hospital Chelsea, home of the iconic Chelsea pensioners. Now, that Christmas event is being organised by SAFA, the charity that supports men and women of the armed services with help that's available wherever and whenever it's needed.
Hello, my name is James Grant and I work for SAFA, the Armed Forces charity. SAFA were founded in 1885 and we exist to support the Armed Forces community, those still serving, veterans, and the families of both groups, and we do so in a number of different ways. At the centre of our services is casework. We have around 4,000 volunteers around the country who find people in need and source assistance for them and help them to regain their independence and their dignity. This year has of course been a very difficult year for the charity, as it has for many charities, with fundraising events being cancelled. We have adapted our services. We've done so very well. We are still there supporting the Armed Forces community at such a difficult time. And we've formed an emergency response fund and a crisis fund where we are supporting veterans in need in terms of fuel vouchers, food vouchers, small grants, and even, sadly, assistance with funeral costs. This means that the support of the general public is more important than ever for our charity, particularly at Christmas, when people are struggling, the furlough scheme is ending, people are losing their jobs, and there is a huge amount of work for our caseworkers and our staff to deliver to support those in need. This Christmas, we are incredibly grateful for the support of all of the listeners and viewers and all of our supporters, our volunteers around the world.
In a year of challenges like this one, sometimes the effect of fear and uncertainty on the very young is overlooked. And so the pupils of All Saints Church of England Primary School in Colville wanted to remind all children that they're never alone. Their song, Love Shone Down, which is raising money and awareness for the charity Young Minds that supports young people struggling with their mental health, features 100 pupils from 4 to 11.
Dream that I was standing on a hillside and all the lights of town were shining far below. One up in the air, beautiful voices sing a new song, let everyone know. Oh, and love shone down over the hills and over the valleys. Oh, and love shone down over the world. Somebody spoke to me, I knew it was an angel. He said there's something that I think you ought to know. Then he just smiled, said don't be afraid now, sing a new song, let everyone know. Oh, and love shone down over the hills and over the valleys. Oh, and love shone down over the world. And then he told me all about the to find him where exactly I should go. Then he was joined by millions of others. Sing a new song, let everyone know. Oh, and love shone down over the hills and over the valleys. Oh, and love shone down over the world. Well, did I dream or was I really on that hillside on that Christmas night so very long ago? When he was born, Jesus our Saviour, sing a new song, let everyone know. Oh, and love shone down over the hills and over the valleys. Oh, and love shone down over the world. Oh, and love shone down over the hills and over the valleys. Oh, and love shone down over the world. Oh, and love shone down over the hills and over the valleys. Oh, and love shone down over the world. Over the world.
Nick Page is a stickler for detail, which is a pretty handy trait for a writer who has a great sense of history and an even greater sense of humour. Now, this is his new book about Christmas, which he says is an account of the strange things we do at Christmas and why most of what we're told about them is wrong. Well, here's Nick to put us right.
Happy Advent to you. I don't know if many people ever say that, actually. It's all about Christmas, isn't it? You know, Advent tends to be something you go through to get somewhere else, something more exciting. It's the Watford Gap of Christian festivals. You sort of zoom through it as you hurtle towards Christmas at an ever-increasing pace. But it's an interesting period, Advent. As I point out in the book I've just published, and yes, that is a shameless plug. Anyway, as I discovered writing the book, Advent is a season which has completely changed its character. Nowadays, it's a sort of pre-Christmas, when you build to the big day by giving yourself lots of little treats on the way, you know, in the form of an Advent calendar normally. You might have already started yours. Now, when I was young, Advent calendars were simple, unassuming, and amazingly dull. They were made of cardboard with little doors which you prized open to reveal a little Christmassy picture, an angel perhaps, or a robin, or a partygoer with a truly existential hangover. Nowadays things have changed. Advent calendars have to come with gifts. You know, chocolates normally, but you can get perfumes, miniature bottles of alcohol or jewellery. In 2019, Tiffany unveiled the world's most expensive Advent calendar. It cost £104,000 and consisted of a 4-foot-high cupboard with 25 drawers containing all the jewellery any Russian oligarch's trophy wife could ever need. And of course, all Advent calendars are actually wrong, because they all begin from the 1st of December, whereas really Advent has to include the 4 Sundays before Christmas, which this year, for example, meant it began in November. But there's another more significant way in which they're wrong, and that is because Advent is actually a period of fasting. Now, the origins of Advent are quite obscure, but from its earliest days, the season has been a time of waiting, of preparation, a period of abstinence before the big feast of Christmas and the 12 days following. That's why Advent was sometimes referred to as Little Lent or Christmas Lent, because, like Lent, it was originally a 4-week fast. So really, if you want a traditional Christmas, you should be fasting during Advent. But nobody I know does that, including me. Really, we've gone the other way. The story of the modern Advent is not about self-control, but self-indulgence. Instead of counting down the days to the presents, we choose to have a present every day. Now, I don't want to stop anyone enjoying themselves, and I think if you said to your children, well, actually, kiddies, we're going to fast this year, it probably wouldn't bless them very much. But I do think that it's worth reflecting on the original Advent. Advent means arrival, and that's what the season is all about. It's about waiting patiently, calmly, for the arrival of something glorious. And this year of all years, this season of privation has a deeper meaning. Aren't we all waiting for a glorious freedom to arrive? In the meantime, the point is this: you need the fast to really appreciate the feast. That's partly why Christmas is where it is. The early church chose to put the celebration of Jesus' birth in the middle of winter. And one of the reasons they did that was because the festival itself is all about light in the darkness. It's all about new life when everything seems hopeless and dead. So maybe we can linger a bit more in Advent. Maybe we shouldn't just hurtle ahead to Christmas, but instead use this time to slow down, to make space in our lives for reflection and prayer. Waiting isn't easy, is it? Nor is fasting, nor indeed is simply keeping still and watching through these times of hardness. But that's the point, because you need the darkness to appreciate the light. You need the fast to appreciate the feast. You need to wait to really appreciate the arrival.
How can the birth of one child be a cause of hope to every person living in Nottingham and in villages and towns across this diocese, especially against the backdrop of this past year with all the challenges that we've been living through? We all need hope. Hope in our NHS, hope for patients, hope for children and young people in our schools, hope for students, hope for those struggling to keep their businesses going, hope for those without jobs, hope for the homeless, hope for the elderly, hope in our care homes. Jesus came to be the light of the world and the hope of every nation. There have been plenty of suggestions about cancelling 2020, and maybe there are a fair few who would like to skip Christmas this year. But we need Christmas because we need hope. This is no time to retreat. We need to charge the darkness with the light of Christ. And the good news is that Jesus didn't only come for religious people. He was born for everyone, a saviour for the whole world, which means there is no street we have ever walked down and no home that we have ever passed where his light and his hope cannot reach. It's why we sing those words from the carol, "Yet in the dark streets shineth the everlasting life." There is no life, however frail, and no heart, however broken, that God's light cannot touch and transform. This is why the birth of Jesus is such a shining hope for our world on its knees in the middle of a pandemic, with all its terrible consequences and complications. We don't need to pretend that life is fine or even be confident that next year will surely be better. All we need to know is that God is with us in the messiness of life, in the struggles and in the stresses, and in the loneliest moments. And he understands the darkness more than we could ever imagine. From the manger all the way to the cross, Jesus is dispelling the darkness, including the darkness that hides within us and sometimes seems to overwhelm us. He brings the light of forgiveness and new life, which is not just for now, but forever. This is truly wonderful. So let's celebrate Christmas 2020 like never before. We'll need to do things differently this year to stay safe and look after others. But we can put Jesus right back in the centre of our celebrations and let his light shine in the darkness. Churches across the city and around the county will continue to do what they've been doing all year, to care for others with acts of kindness and generosity. There will also be Christmas carols and readings online and hopefully in person too. But there is something we can all join with. Each time we turn on our own Christmas lights, whatever form they take, we can say a prayer for those that we know and those in need, to pray for our neighbours, to pray for our loved ones near and far away, to pray for our world. Lord, let your everlasting light shine in the darkness. You may even like to join in by sharing a short video turning on your own Christmas lights, and why not share it on social media? Whatever this Christmas holds for you and for our world, may God bless you. Because of Jesus, there is always hope. God's light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has never put it out.
Paul Williams, the Bishop of Southwell and Nottingham, bringing our programme almost to an end today. But next week there is a lot to look forward to, because we have decided to concentrate on worship and bring you the readings and the carols that you would expect to hear in your carol service in your own church, which you may not be able to go to this year. So our programme next week will be filled with prayer and praise, with readings and thoughts, and with the most magnificent Christmas music that will lift your voices as well as your spirits. Now, our contact details will be coming at the end of the programme, but I'm going to finish now by slipping in one of my Christmas favourites. It's a song which comes from Father's Voice, who are a choir of Christian men who are often invited along to perform at churches in the Glasgow area. So here they are singing Glory to the Newborn King. And here I am, Pam Rhodes, saying goodbye to you for this week. Please take care of yourselves and each other until the next time. Bye-bye.
By the angel, born in a lowly manger, the Virgin Mary was his mother, and Joseph was his earthly father. 3 wise men came from afar, they were guided by a shining star, to see King Jesus where he lay in a manger filled with hay.
Glory, glory, glory to the
the Lord.